सर तुम्ही होस्ट असताना म्यूट करा सगळ्यांना.
So, good morning, one and all. I, Dr. Manoj Wagh, Joint Secretary of Institute of Engineer, India, Ahmednagar Local Center, Ahmednagar, and Professor and Dean Academics of Dr. Vithalrao Vikhe Patil, College of Engineering, Ahmednagar, heartily welcome to all to online webinar on how to write a literature review paper. I will welcome to Dr. UP Naik sir, Principal Dr. Vithalrao Vikhe Patil, College of Engineering, Ahmednagar. Also, I welcome to Engineer MM Aneka sir, Chairman of the Institution of Ahmednagar Local Center, Ahmednagar. I also welcome to Engineer Abhay Rajesh sir, Secretary, the Institution of Ahmednagar. I also welcome to past Joint Secretary Vidhate sir to join this webinar. I welcome to each and every participant to join the program shortly. Now, for a welcome address, I request Dr. Abhay Rajesh sir to please encourage the participant by your inaugural pitch. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Vak sir. So good morning to one and all present here. I think more than 56 participants I'm seeing. Respected dignitaries, distinguished delegates, participants, and my dear friends. It is a glorious moment to extend my warm wishes on behalf of the Institution of Engineers, India, Ahmednagar Local Center, and Dr. Vithalrao Vikhe Patil, College of Engineering, Ahmednagar, on this auspicious occasion for a webinar on how to write a literature review paper. And it is my privilege to briefly introduce about the Institution of Engineers. The Institution of Engineers, known as II, is a century-old unique professional body featuring 15 engineering disciplines and overall membership of over 2 lakh corporate members and 1.5 lakh student members. II, with its presence in over 6 countries, is also the first professional body to represent India in several international forums like World Federation of Engineering Organization, WFEO, Commonwealth Engineers Council, CEC, Federation International du Britain, Federation of Engineering Institution of Asia and Pacific, etc., beside a host of strategic tie-ups with professional societies across the globe. II, with its headquarters in Kolkata, operates through 125 state and local centers across the country, along with 6 overseas chapters. It has 6 peripheral bodies and 1 autonomous forum, namely Engineering Staff College of India, where continued professional development programs are arranged for engineers and provides consultancy services to engineering and management discipline. II functions with the professional engineers, academicians, and research workers and provides a vast array of technical and value-added professions services to the government, industries, academic, and engineering communities. II has been conducting its well-recognized non-formal engineering education called as AMIE, which is recognized as equivalent degree in engineering by Government of India, UPSC, MHRD, state governments, and many public-private sector organizations in the country. About Ahmednagar Local Center, it was established in year 1986. It has an on date 1000 plus corporate members, 300 student members, and 3 institutional members. IIALC has established 24 student chapter in various engineering colleges and polytechnic in the revenue district of Ahmednagar. IIALC also coordinates activities of AMI examination. About 100 students appear for Section A and Section B examination of AMI conducted by the institution. The local center has been equipped, a well-equipped library consisting of more than 1000 books of various disciplines and numbers, and also proceedings of seminars, workshops, and project reports for reference to the members and students. I am happy to announce that II Ahmednagar Local Center is constructing its own building at Nagar Kalyan Road, just near to the Ahmednagar city. The 3-story building will consist of administrative office, conference room, electronic cyber library, skill development center, seminar hall. It will be open for corporate members and students of engineering colleges. I take this opportunity to appeal engineers who are not member of IEI to become members of this prestigious institution and avail host of benefits offered by IEI. The students can also enroll them as student members, and after completion of degree, they can upgrade themselves to corporate membership. IILC has a full-fledged office on Nagar Aurangabad Road, Ahmednagar, where you can get all required information and assistance. With this, I conclude my speech and hope you have an engaging and enriching session ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now today's speaker, Professor Nilkanth Deshpande, sir. So before introducing the Professor Nilkanth Deshpande, sir, I will briefly introduce about the research. What do you mean by research and what is the importance of research? Research is essential for building the knowledge and smooth learning. Research means to understand the issue and increase the public awareness. Research will help directly or indirectly in business too. Purpose of research are to inform action, gather evidence of thesis as well as theories, and contribute to the development of knowledge in a field of study as well as develop of society. It promotes confidence in writing, reading, analyzing, and sharing the valuable information. Research is very important. Research provides nourishment as well as exercise of mind. So with this word, I will introduce today's speaker, Professor Nilkanth Deshpande, sir. Sir completed his graduation in electronics engineering from Amrutwahini College of Engineering, Sangamner in 2002. Sir has completed his master's in engineering from Government College of Engineering, Aurangabad in 2008. He has published numerous papers in Scopus and SCI Indexing Journal. He is actively involved in different extracurricular and co-curricular activities. He is having around 17 years of teaching experience. Sir has published 3 international books. Sir has also published his own poem book in Marathi named Nishigandha. Sir delivered expert lecture for various events. He worked as a coordinator for different state and national level events. Currently, Sir is pursuing his PhD from Symbiosis International University, Pune. His research interests including medical imaging, machine learning, deep learning, and explainable artificial intelligence. So I request Professor Nilkanth Deshpande, sir, to deliver the session and guide the participant. Yes, sir, please.
I will just
Deshpande, sir?
make my. My voice is audible? Hello? Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hello?
sir. You're audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I will share my screen. Is my screen visible, sir?
No, sir.
I will reshare. I will reshare. Just a minute. Sir, Vak sir, you have my presentation. Can you share?
Yeah, sir, yeah.
I'm not getting the option of sharing.
Now my screen is visible, sir.
Yeah. Still not, sir. Still not.
I had shared.
Yeah, presentations screen is visible, sir.
That may be my screen, I think.
Acha.
Scrolling is there now, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So my screen is there, I think.
No, sir. I am sharing. It's my screen, sir.
I'm not getting, sir. Just I will left and I will join within a minute, sir. Some network issue is there, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, sir. हाँ बोला.
So good morning all. First of all, it's my duty to mention some names. Our beloved principal, Dr. UP Naik sir, Principal Dr. Vithalrao Vikhe Patil College of Engineering, Ahmednagar, Engineer MM Anekar sir, Chairman IEI, Engineer Abhay Raje sir, Secretary IEI Local Center Ahmednagar, my dear friend Professor MP Wagh, Joint Secretary of IEI Local Center Ahmednagar, Dr. Deepak Vidate, and all the dignitaries here and all the participants. So we will start with our session. So now there is no problem with the screen, no?
Yes, sir. We are getting.
Okay.
Only see
No
that,
problem.
sir. It gets switched over, sir. Like second slide, if it is running properly.
Yes.
Only take care of that.
Okay. So as Vagh sir told that basically what research is. So in a very wide spectrum, when we call something as a research, then basically whatever the motto of research, that motto should be the motto towards mankind, to gain of knowledge, to make enthusiasm towards the knowledge. All the things are inbuilt in you in a human being. But whenever you are going for a research, then there should be something that you are going to contribute something to the society. As we are always seeing here, we don't see disturbance of someone's. please. Okay.
अनिकर सर म्यूट करता का स्वतःला? तुमच्या तिथून थोडासा आवाज येतोय.
Okay, so our basic motto or basic aim whenever we are doing some research, that motto should be always we have to think about the society and what we can give to the society. That should be our motto whenever we are going to go for the research. So here I welcome you all for this presentation on literature review, how you are going to make a good literature review. That outlines and all we are going to see. A researcher cannot perform significant research without first understanding the literature in the field. This has been said by Boot and Bailey in 2005. You see that we are doing the research all the way. You might have seen we are having a great Indian culture of 5,000 to 6,000 years.
The slide is not moving. Now it's moving, sir. It's moving.
Okay. Participants, please let me know. Actually, if there is any difficulty, then we can get it. Okay. So, as we know that we are having a great culture of India from 5,000 to 6,000 years, and there we have been involved. Our ancestors been involved in a lot of different research. Now, see that whenever you are going to see the literature, and out of seeing the literature, then and then only you can go for concentrating on the research problem. And second thing is that your research should be presentable, or research should be presented somewhere. Like there are some different authorities. For example, there is a patent authority. For example, there is a copyright authority. There are different journals, scientific journals, social journals. So different ways you have to put up your research ideas. You have to present the idea somewhere, and whenever that idea is get accepted, then and then only you can see that whatever the idea you have put forward, that idea has been accepted worldwide, and then there is value to your research. So before moving to the research, you should know what is the literature and what are the different things which are been there in the literature. Previously, what researcher has been performed, and then only you can go further. Is there any problem with the voice?
No, sir, it's audible.
It's audible, na, sir? Okay. So now, how to write a literature review? Basically, for that case, we have to see this is an interesting process of review development. First, we have to formulate a problem. Then we have to search. Again, you can see there is an interconnection between the formulated. Just a minute. I think slides, I will reshare. Just a minute. I will reshare the slides. Some problem is there, sir. Okay. So you can see there is an interconnection between formulate a problem and searching the literature. So whenever you want to formulate a problem, you have to search the literature, and whenever you are searching the literature, you are going to refine the problems. So there is interconnection between the searching of literature, formulating the problem, refining the topic, and then you are going to analyze whatever your topic is. Then you have to construct a good review, and after that, there are some research tips which we are going to discuss also. There are some referencing softwares where you can store your references like RefWorks, EndNote, and so on. So this is a broad idea of literature review we have seen. So we are going to get deeper and deeper now. Okay. So what is a literature review first? Basically, see that as far as we are related with a technical community, like all are generally, I will see that all are engineers. So basically, there are different surveys. In survey articles, then there is a short description. What we can say that whenever I am going to present some paper, and if the critical review which is done on that paper, the critical short description, that will be nothing but a literature review. There might be some dissertations, there might be some other significant topics which are being reviewed. So all these things which are coming under the these are coming under the literature review. So anything you want to search out and you are coming with some critical evaluation or critical solution or critical aspects of a particular wide area, that will be nothing but a review. Now see that you are going to survey different things and then you are going to make a review. Okay, so survey and review, these terms are interrelated, but there is a difference between these terms. So you are going to survey something, you are going to survey deeply, and out of that deep survey you are going to make some review that these are the critical things which are the outcome of that particular review. So how or why the literature review is going to be conducted? The first and foremost to our engineering community is to write a review paper. So whenever I am going to write a review paper, then I should rigorously review, rigorously survey the literature, and then I am going to be with the outcome of a review. Then for dissertation, for our PhD thesis, for our master thesis, all the way there is one thing already all might know, that we are going to write a research proposal when you are going to present your idea of research whenever you are doing a PhD. So for that case, generally 3 to 6 months we are spending for our literature review or our survey. So for writing the research proposal, to get some new insights of a particular area in the research, so these are nothing but these are all are the broad aspects for what we are going to make the literature review. Now what conducting a literature review will help you? So what are the different things that will help you to conduct the literature review? So first and foremost is we are going to see whether a particular research is actually needed or not. Let's say I am going to survey, I will give some real life example. For example, related to some bike study or related to some car study. If I am going to make a survey on how the mileage of a car will change and all that thing, if I take that area, now see that whatever the research you are going to do, you are going to take some statistics and you are going to present the statistics if the result will go with the statistical way. But whether the outcome or whether the mileage and the different cars, whatever the thing you are going to consider as outcome, whether that is necessary or not, that we have to see. So it will exactly tell you whether the research which is proposed by you is actually needed or not. If that is not needed, then if that is not beneficial to society, if not that will not give some value addition in the field technically, then there is no need to go for that particular research. So this is a very prime thing that you should know, why the research is actually needed and if the research is actually needed. Now one major thing is that there are certain similar researchers which are in there, which are maybe presented by some researchers. So whether next thing is that even I will take some similar paper which are been published. There might be some other opinion or other replication of the same thing. Means see that generally whenever you are going for PhD, you are going to make or put up some new ideas. But up to master's level, whatever you are doing is you are going to just take the ideas presented by other, and then those ideas are being replicated or those ideas are being implemented as a project, like UG project or PG project. There might be replication of the idea. So someone has presented the paper and you have implemented the paper with certain modification. So that is also, that will validate whatever the things which have been presented by other researchers. Next, very keen thing to know is to narrow down something. Now see that you will give some example of something like sorry, this is a disturbance because I am operating on the same laptop which is required for making admit. So now see that I will give an very simple example, which is a live example. Like for example, an MBBS doctor is there. So when MBBS doctor is there, he is doing the he know all the human anatomy. Then in post graduation, he might be getting the post graduation related to bones. Then after that, post graduation, then there will be super specialty. In super specialty, he might work on only hand, he might work on only finger. So that what he has done, he has narrowed down the problem to up to hand. So this is nothing but this is the exact thing which is literature review will help you. So whenever, for example, I am doing the work in machine learning in autonomous vehicle. So initially I will start what is machine learning is, what is deep learning is. So after that, I will take all the different areas which are been related with this machine learning and our autonomous vehicle driving. I will combine those areas. Then after autonomous vehicle driving, then I will see the different data sets, and like that I am going to narrow down the problem when I am going to make a literature review. Then it can help understand whether you need to focus your efforts, means which area is there, which is the, like this is the, on depends on the critical analysis, and most prominently it will help to generate the hypothesis. When you generate the hypothesis or when you generate a research questions, on based on the research questions, you are going to go with the further studies. So this is a very broad aspect of literature review, how it will help you. Then what it will give, basically background knowledge of field. There are some facts which have been there, which are exist, and which have been presented by the different research scholars. One more thing you will get whenever you will review the literature, that eminent scholar in that particular field. Now see that, for example, I will give an example. For example, I have done my PG thesis on iris recognition, and whenever we are doing the literature review, we found that John Dogman is an eminent researcher in that particular field, and he has pioneered that total iris recognition concept. So that after taking that eminent scholars in that field, we can directly contact them, we can get help from them, and we can narrow down our problems. So these are the things which it will give to the getting knowledge about the methodologies, which is common. So these are the things which will help you in conducting the literature review. Okay. So this is a very important diagram which will be the outline of a review process. So see that formulate a problem and searching the literature which are interrelated, that we have seen in the second or third slide. But this diagram will show you how is your outline of your research process. So first and foremost state, whenever you are writing a review or whenever you are going to see the process of research, formulate a problem. So which topic is to be examined and what are the different components, what are the different issues related to particular problem. So this is nothing but a broad aspect of problem. Whenever you are going to formulate something, then that should be in broad aspect, because you haven't visited the literature. After making that broad, putting the broad idea, you are going to go for literature. Then we are going to see the literature. So we are going to reading, refining. There is a like vast process of 3 to 6 months. Then you will get some ideas. After reading the literature or searching the literature, you are going to evaluate something. And after the evaluation, what contribution at different researchers has been made. Then what you understand from or what you understood from the topics, which has been presented by the researchers. After that, you have to analyze and you have to interpret. So this is very, very essential state or essential thing which is required for making your review rigorous or making your review to be understandable, acceptable by the world. That is, analyze and interpret. Whatever you have evaluated, those evaluation has been analyzed in a proper manner, has to be interpreted, and those interpretation and analysis has to be put forward as a discussion section in your review paper, as a future ahead section in your review paper. Means findings, research questions, research outcomes that are to be the outcomes of this analyze and interpret process. Then after that, there is a formatting. You know that different journals, different papers, different authors are having different formats. So this formatting style you have to use according to this journal when you are going to, in which you are going to put forward your research. And last is you are going to create a bibliography. So this is also a very crucial thing, how you are going to create a bibliography. Now see that, let's say I'm going to make a review on some disease detection or by using a machine learning. For that, generally a review paper, at least it should contain 80 to 100, 120 references. When you see good review papers, you will get references more than 100, 120, 140 and so on. Whenever you are going to make some statement, and if the statement is not owned by you, then you have to put some research. Otherwise, it will violate the whatever the copyrights. It will violate the copyright if you have not identified or if you have not quoted the text which has been generated by the other researcher. So creating a bibliography is very big task. Searching the literature and making the literature which is used for your problem, and that too a literature from a good journal, that is also a tedious task. It will require time and it is generally a time consuming process. So this is an outline of your review process. Now there is some tips we are going to see when you are going to formulate a problem. First, we have to select topic of your interest. Then you are going to choose a topic which is visibly focused. So first you will see whether you are interested in a particular topic. Then you will see that whether the topic is feasible and whether the focus what you have decided which is feasible. Then you will get help. So this is you can say that this is very important thing whenever you are going to take research. You have to take help. You have to take opinions of certain researcher. You have to take help from other person which is master in that particular field and so on. Now see that there are some research communities like you might know ResearchGate, you might know Google Scholar, and there are some other research communities also. So you have to, we can interact on this research community. For example, I am having some question, I can put forward a question from my ResearchGate profile. That questions will be floated to all the researchers which have been connected with me or which have been doing the similar research. And from that, I will get some things which are been like help for me for getting my research. So getting help is very, very essential part whenever you are going to formulate a problem. Next, you may want to start out with a general idea, then review the literature, then refining the problem based on what you have found. So this is again nothing but a critical analysis of the literature. So first broad, then see whether it is feasible, then you will get the help. In the way you are going to search out with yourself, you are going to take search from other researcher, and then you are going to make a critical analysis. So these are the things which are been the different tips for formulating the research problem. Just a minute. So literature search. Now see that how the literature are being searched. We have to perform a preliminary search of the literature. So how we are going to search the literature? We have to see the work published by the other persons, which has been recognized by a good reputed quality journals. minimum Scopus journal is required to prefer. We know that there are certain databases, two popular databases generally we are going to see. One is Scopus and one is Web of Science. No doubt there are some Google Scholar databases also and some other like Academia and all. But whenever you are going to search the literature search, whenever you are going to narrow down the topic, that should be recent literature, recent journals you have to see whenever you are going to search the literature. Generally go for at least Scopus or Web of Science, because I will share my one of the experience that whenever there are many researchers in the participants, whenever we are going to I have made a submission in earlier way, I have made a submission in elsewhere, and there is one machine learning algorithm they have made, and they are going to track all the references which are been there. And if the reference is either in Scopus and either in Web of Science, then and then only that reference has been considered, or else those references are been made like discarded, or because these are not the journals that they have said. So this is the way whenever you are going to search the literature should be standardized, standard reputed journals, depending on the impact factor, depending on SGR score. All these things we have to consider whenever you are going to make the review of the literature based on that particular journals. One more thing I want to suggest you, that whenever you are going to make a base paper of your research or base paper for your review, that base paper should be from a very good quality like IEEE, like elsewhere, or some other reputed journals. Because in if there is like you have misjudged the base paper, then whole research will get in vain, and you will get stuck somewhere like after one year or 2 year or somewhere you will get stuck. So considering a proper base paper for your review and for your literature, for your formulation of problem, that is a very prime thing that you have to consider. So this is what we have already discussed. You are going to read, you are going to search, you are going to refine the search. Now this is a very important thing, that a very important aspect that we have to see always. Now see that there are many problems whenever we are going to search the literature. I will give some examples. Like whenever I am going to search the literature, I will make some folders, like folder by name, folder by some NMD like 1, 2, 3 and so on. So there I will just search the literature and I will paste all the papers in that literature. And if at all I revisit the literature after 15 days or 1 month, then it is everything will be washed out. It is very difficult to search out the particular paper with a particular title and with the particular author. It is very difficult. For that case, you have to save your literature in some citation manager. Ref work is there, EndNote is there, Mendeley is also there. Mendeley desktop is very good tool for making this thing. So whenever you have used some citation manager or reference manager, then what will happen? Whatever the research you have made, or whatever the literature you have reviewed, whatever the literature you have downloaded, you can paste that downloaded literature into Mendeley, for example. And whenever you want to retrieve them, you can easily see it will give the description of whatever there in that literature, what are the authors, who are the authors, and what is the title of the paper. So it is within a one screen, it will be very easy to see the same thing. And it will also has, whenever you have referred the literature and whenever you have copied that paper from that, whenever you have downloaded. So this is a very what you can say, that important thing to save whatever the things or whatever the references you have downloaded. Because if there is nothing, like you have not been saved the references in a particular way, then it is all the research will be in vain. Because whatever the things which are necessary, I have initially I have tried to put IMP paper on IMP paper to IMP paper 3. But if I got 100 papers, or if I got 50 papers from IMP, then it is almost, it is very difficult to search out the thing. So that A good citation manager, there are different tutorials on YouTube, like refer tutorials are there, EndNote, mainly different tutorials are there. Those tutorials you have to refer, and how you are going to save the literature, that you have to see. This will help you to exactly track whatever is necessary to you. Okay, now this is a roadmap we have made for reading the material closer. Basically, see that there is a difficulty many researcher faced or many beginner face, that there is a very big paper of 50 pages length, 100 pages length, 70 pages length, having 250 references, 350 references, and then how I can read the paper. As we are going to discuss all the way with my friends and with my colleagues, some people, even if I also, whenever we are beginner, then it will take 3 days, 4 days to read a particular paper, to understand the particular paper. And people used to say that how you are read 100 papers in 1 month. It is not possible. But see that whenever you are going to see how the material is to be read closer. So first see that, first we have to see what is abstract, because everything which is written in the abstract, that will exactly filter whether this paper is necessary to you or not. First I will read abstract. From that, if the material whatever written in the abstract, I will see whether it is necessary for me or not. If it is not necessary, I will reject the paper. I will take another paper. If I got the abstract to be with some keen interest, then I will go for introduction. So abstract, and in introduction, the abstract means initial of that abstract will be elaborated in the introduction. And if I found introduction okay, then I will go with the next. That is a methodology with a critical eye. This is very important, because now see that whenever you are going to read the paper, I will just make an overview, but the critically analyzed methodology is very important. There might be some methodology diagram, there might be something which are being modified in original methodologies, some parameters will be modified. So all these things we have to see with a close critical eye. This is very important. Next, coming to the evaluation of research. When I found there is something is there in that methodology which could be critically examined, and whether it is beneficial, and whether I can update the things, or whether I can replicate the thing, and whether I can add some technical value to that, then and then only I will get with the evaluation of result. Excuse me. So after seeing the methodology which is somewhat critically examined, then I will go with the result. Now again, seeing the result is very like you can say that it is very tough task. See that how you are going to evaluate a result. For example, let's say we are having accuracy. Accuracy is the main criteria which are being considered to be a evaluation measure for different, or we can say that measure of the work. But in some cases, for example, I will give an example of segmentation. So some people who's working in image processing, that might understood the concept, that whenever we are going to segment a particular image, basically there is an image which is the image which is called as a ground truth image. Ground truth image is the image which is done pre-segmented, and then I am using some other software to segment the another image, which is image under interest. These two images I have segmented. So I have actual image with me, and I have segmented by some algorithm that image I am having with me. So I have to see how much the accuracy of the segmentation is. So it is very difficult to judge by the parameter measure which is called as accuracy. For that case, which parameter will be there? Some slope overload distortion is there. Some volume VOE, the parameter is there. That is volume overlapping error is there. Some PSNR value is there. Some mean square error is there. So there are different parameters which are not even might be observed in general sense. So that evaluation parameter will be other than accuracy. And whenever you are going to critically see those parameters, you should know, or you should know earlier how these parameters are behaving, and then only you can say that this methodology has been giving a proper result other as compared to the other methodologies. Then coming to the very interesting thing, whenever you are going to read the paper, that is like a discussion with a grain of salt. So this is very important thing related to a paper, because whatever your opinion, that opinion matters whenever you are going to go with this 1, 2, 3, 4 stages. After the 4 stage, means evaluation of result, critically you can see, or you can add some statement that this paper has done this paper is having this lacuna, and we can proceed for the review of this paper, or this paper can be the part of our review. So this is a roadmap which is very popular whenever you are going to read the paper, and all the people, means major people, is having the problem of reading the paper. They will say that we are getting lot of time to read a particular paper. Okay, so in this way, if we will proceed, then it will be very easy. Now this is a very important thing which may be the outcome of your review. So what are the questions which are to be considered? Now you can just have a look on these questions. 1, 2 questions we may discuss. For example, what are the existing theories? This should be known to you. What do we already know in the immediate area concerned? Then what are the characteristics of the key concepts, or the main factors or variables? What are the relationship between the key concepts? Okay, so these are the things, these are the questions. Answers of these questions are to be known whenever you are going to review a particular literature. Basically, literature review, outcome of the literature review are the research questions and research area and the problem formulation. These are the 3 different major outcomes of your review. Okay, so why study the research problem? What contribution can the present study should be expected? What research designs or methodologies seem unsatisfactory? So these all are the questions. Whenever I put forward these questions, then answer to each and every question may be a research topic. Now this is very important. Okay. Okay. Now construct the literature review. In introduction section, whatever should be there. Then after introduction section, you should have some body of your literature. Then you should have conclusions. There are some specific purposes, objective, chronology, etc. There is one concept, chronology, that I want to elaborate here. That see that in major of the areas, generally the chronology is considered, and in other areas chronology is not considered at all. Means I will give an example. For example, I am going to have a research on a particular what my area is. I am working on leukemia detection by using machine learning and AI techniques. If I want to see the chronology of leukemia, then that may not be useful for me, because whenever leukemia has been like invented, or we can say that discovered that this type of infection is called as leukemia, at present what research is expected on the leukemia analysis, that is more important for me. So if I want to use the literature related to leukemia, I should consider what are the different norms are being presented by WHO at present moment, means in 2022 or 2021 norms. Like these are the things which are being considered when there is a presence of leukemia. So all the way, otherwise it will not be possible, or it will not be efficient, or it will not be at all required to see when leukemia has been started in some 1856 or 1956 and so on. This is an example. But in other cases, chronology makes sense. For example, if I want to develop a certain algorithm of deep learning, from that developing the algorithm of deep learning, I should know what is artificial intelligence. I should know the other spectrum of artificial intelligence, that is machine learning. Then coming to the deep learning, then coming to the different models of deep learning like AlexNet, LateNet, GoogleNet, and so on. These models I have to study, and after studying these models, then I have to put forward something which is new to the area of the research. Like that, in some research facts, chronology is important, and in some research area, chronology not at all make the sense. So depending on whatever your motto is, you have to decide whether you have to give chronological analysis or you have to give methodological analysis. Okay. Now construct the literature review. So these are, you are going to summarize the things. You are going to see whether there are major what you can say that you are agree with this area or you are disagree with the area. So this is very important. There is something space which is denote the significance, means whether there is significance of the particular research, that should be known. Whether the area which is understood as a research topic, whether you disagree or whether you agree, that there is the major thing whenever you are going to make the research. Okay. Okay, this is I want to discuss, this is very importantly, I have made the sections whenever you are going to directly write the literature review paper, or you are going to write the literature review of your research proposal and so on. So these are the three broad, you can say that sections we can make for whenever you are going to organize a review or organize a review paper. So first section will be the introduction. Second section will be the body of your literature review. Third section is the conclusion. So what should be there in the introduction? Content, that is what is covered, then structure, how it is organized, and boundaries, what is outside the scope. So these are the three things which are coming as a part of the introduction. On the way, I have not written abstract here because generally abstract should contain like some part of introduction, whatever the methodology you are doing, then whatever the evaluation of your methodology, and whatever your critical conclusions. So these are the different parts that should abstract contain. I may give, if time permits, I will give some example of structured abstract that we can see also. So these are the things that is the part of the introduction. Then coming to the very main part of your literature review paper, that is the body of your literature review, that is body of your LR. So it may contain different sections. For example, section 1, the most important topic or key concept, discussed, evaluated, summarized. Section 2 may contain the discuss, evaluation, summarization. Section 3 may contain other, and so on. For example, I will give an example of what you can say that. Let's discuss an example of different image process, different you can say that different segmentation techniques in image processing. For example, I am going to make a review of segmentation by using image processing or segmentation in image processing. So what I can explain in section 1, I can explain the different segmentation technique. Let's say age detection techniques I will explain. In second section, I may explain some transform techniques like Hub transform, like wavelet transform, and so on. In third section, I may explain some other techniques and so on. So this is the way our body of literature should be followed. Whenever see that the literature always, you always see whenever you are going to make a good literature review paper, that paper length matters. Now see that if you are making 2 to 3 pages length, no doubt if you are presenting the paper in some electronic letters, that may require less length. In some IEEE paper also they are making 10 to 12 pages length, but 10 to 12 page is sufficient when you go with the IEEE format. But although if the length of the page is not mentioned, then it is always good to elaborate the paper, because your elaborated paper will be the guideline for other researchers. And what is your work when you are going to write a review, then it should be guided to other researcher in the same field. That should be a guideline. That should give outcome as a particular research area. That is nothing but the whatever the thing we are going to go with this literature review. Okay, just a minute. Okay, then coming to the conclusion. So what summaries you are going to do? You are going to highlight the most relevant points. You are going to relate this all this point to whatever the need of the research. You can reiterate what these mean for the what is the what these parameter or what this research is mean for your research design. So these are the things that is present in the conclusion. Okay. Now I want to say you one thing, that in your review paper, conclusion section as well as the discussions and the future ahead, this section is very important. On the basis of your abstract and discussion and the future ahead and conclusion, on the basis of these three sections, reviewer will take the decision of whether this paper is to be accepted or not, whether this paper will have some value or not. Now see that in discussion section, you have to critically examine the different aspects of the methodologies which are being presented by you. Then what are the lacunas in the methodologies? What are the additions which could be explored as a research area in that particular out of this research? And in conclusion, these things will be replicated, and as well as introduction and methodology part is also, that should be the part of your conclusion. And after that, you are going to add the references that we have already discussed, how you can use Mendeley and all that. Okay. So this is all about my side. Thank you. We can interact if questions are there, participants. Participants, if any questions, we can have an interaction.
Can you send us that all the slides?
Yes, sir, sure. I will forward the same to.
Hello.
WhatsApp.
Can you share that all the slides with us?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I will share.
Okay,
That will be a good idea.
It was a nice experience. We get new and practical ideas. Thanks a lot.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Some question is there in chart section.
Yes, sir. I will see.
Okay.
How to check whether we have covered all research papers? Now see that this is very interesting. Actually, this has to be the part of whatever we have discussed. Professor Dilip sir, see that sir, there are certain databases which I have told you, like Scopus is there, Web of Science is there, and so on. If your institution is having the access of Scopus or Web of Science, you can go in the Scopus search and you can search document from there by using some keywords. Those keyword combinations you can easily made by seeing some YouTube videos, or you can anyone can tell you. So from that, if I'm dealing with a machine learning and image processing, for example, so if I use the keywords machine learning and image processing, I will get a wide range of paper which are present up to that particular date, which are present in that Scopus database. Then from that only you are going to you can take the paper, you can read abstract by abstract, and then you can ensure that I have downloaded all the papers. Same thing you can do with the Web of Science. because there are these popular databases. If you take all the papers in these two databases, then you can say that I have covered all the papers, because other papers which are in the Google Scholar or Academia or other indexing, that will not matter so much. Web of Science and Scopus matters. There is a way to see like that. Is it okay, Dilip sir? Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Any doubts?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, myself, Professor Sagar Chavan from Navasayatri College, Pune.
Yes, sir.
I have a question about citation, sir.
Yes, sir.
Means while writing any review paper, what is the role of citation in that particular review paper?
Okay. See that, sir, whenever we are writing a review, so whatever you want to say, you can say only in discussion and conclusion section, sir. Whenever each and every line in the review paper, that should be the line which has been told from other researcher. You can elaborate the thing. I will give an example. The example is like that. Once I was writing one research paper, one review paper we were writing actually. My co-guide is from Australia. He's Mr. B.S. Pradhan, Biswajit Pradhan, sir. You can see his profile also. He is having more than 45,000 citations, and he is the most highly researcher for 2 to 3 recent years. So what he has suggested me, I have put some line. Let's say deep learning algorithms are less explainable as compared to the traditional image processing algorithm. This line I have explained in my literature review paper. So he has tell me that this line, if it is a part of your insights, then it should be there in your discussion section or in conclusion section. But if you are using that particular line, that should be the line which has been given by a certain researcher. Means each and every line or each and every statement, whatever you are going to make in the review paper, that as it is, whatever other says, that you are going to review. That is actually, there is a wide role, sir. And now I am writing one paper on explainable AI, like explainable AI towards medical imaging. Currently, I am writing that paper. In that paper, earlier there was 120 review references we have mentioned. Then after the revision, now the references are 143. And now I have, again, we are going to edit the paper. That may increase 30 references more, that may increase. So there is a key role of citations and references whenever you are going to go with this review paper. Is it okay, sir? Sagar, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Is there anything from other participants? One more thing that I can add for 1 or 2 minutes, that in some journals I have seen the template like you have to mention the research is necessary or research may be read, means target audience are to be mentioned in that particular research. That is also important in some journals, because for example, if you are writing a paper in medical domain, means like my domain is the medical imaging domain. So I am writing paper in the medical imaging domain, but whether that is beneficial to some hematologist, like some research in medical field, as well as some research in AI field and so on. So this thing which is very important, that we may mention the target audience or whatever the audience is there for which the said research is necessary. From that, that will also create an impact on reviewer or editor of that particular journal, that these are the target audience of this researcher. So we will get good chances of selection of that particular paper in your journal. This also I want to mention.
Hello, any doubts, any question? Hello, participant, any doubts?
Vak, sir, we can proceed, Vak, sir.
Yes, yes. In chat box, feedback link as come certificate has been mentioned. Now we proceed for the vote of thanks. Now I requested Secretary Engineer Abhay Rajesh sir for vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Uh, excuse me, sir. Sir, Anika sir, sir
Yes, yes,
address.
yes, yes, yes. Please. Sorry, sir. Now I request today's chairperson, Engineer MM Aneka sir, Chairman of Institute of Engineer India, Ahmednagar Local Center. Sir, kindly guide us by presidential address. Aneka sir, please.
Thank you, Professor Vag. I will take few minutes. First of all, I am thankful to college authorities and especially Dr. Uday Naik for jointly arranging this program with III Ahmednagar. I am proud to mention that Vikhe Patil College of Engineering is an institutional member of III. Professor Nilkanth Deshpande has delivered a very nice, useful lecture on the important skill required for all engineers. All we know the importance of writing and presenting papers. All accreditation bodies, even for colleges, ask for the data of your professors, how many papers you have presented. So this data is required everywhere. And even those who want to become entrepreneurs, for them, all financial institutes ask for technical feasibility report, and you need to present this report before the panel of experts. So the topic is very, very important. Your report will be scrutinized by experts. So this topic, from that sense also, it is very important. Considering importance of this topic, every year II arranges a technical paper presentation competition for students. Professor Dr. Vidate from your institute only, Professor Karanjole from Polytechnic Ahmednagar, our members and committee members of II, they are actively involved in this activity and they are conducting this activity for many years. I request all of you to participate. We make this paper presentation competition every year on the eve of Engineers Day. I request all of you to please participate in that competition. With thanks and appreciation to our team, Secretary Mr. Abhay Raje, Dr. Vidate, Dr. Wag, I conclude. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to Mr. Wag.
Thank you, sir. Participant, kindly switch on your camera to take the photograph of this evidence. Participant, switch on their cameras. Okay, sir. Thank you. Now I request Engineer Abhay Rajesh sir for vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you, sir. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful event. On behalf of the Institution of Engineers, Ahmednagar Local Center, and Dr. Vithalrao Vikhe Patil College of Engineering, Ahmednagar, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Professor Nilkanth Deshpande sir, who, despite of his busy schedule, has found time to guide us in this webinar. Thank you, sir, for gracing your important work and sharing with us your findings and opinions today. I thank our well-wisher and chief guest of today's program, Dr. Uday Naik sir, Principal, Dr. Vithalrao Vikhe Patil College of Engineering, Ahmednagar, for his unstinted support for this webinar. I owe special gratitude to President of today's program, Engineer Manohar Anikar sir, Chairman of IIALC, who ensured that this webinar becomes a memorable success. My heartfelt thanks to convener of today's program and Joint Honorary Secretary of IIALC, Engineer MP Wag sir, for his valuable contribution and efforts in organizing this webinar. Sincere thanks to all the heads of the various departments of Dr. Vithalrao Vikhe Patil College of Engineering, Ahmednagar, who handled the event throughout. Also, sincere thanks to committee members of IIALC for being present here and supporting the event. A big round of applause and thanks to all the participants who made the event a memorable one. Finally, I would like to thank all of you present here for making the time to be with us today and helping us make this event a grand success. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. I conclude that this session is over. Participants.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Wag sir, for arranging a nice webinar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jesuga
Yes.
sir.
Yeah.
Wag sir is
Thank you,
becoming
sir.
our backbone of IILC, all the participants,
Yes, yes.
and he is becoming more and more active.
Thank you, sir. Due to your guidance, work is going on.
No, sir, all your efforts are coming into play now.
Actually, we are thankful to Mr. Thigle, our senior member who has joined.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir. Take it,
Good
sir.
morning.
Sir, good morning to all of you. Actually, I was interested in how to write a research paper. So this will be
Yes,
useful
yes.
for us also.
Yes.
Since we are working in the research in vehicle research and development establishment for quite some time. My colleagues from VRD also joined because I shared this link with them. Engineer M.M. Kulkarni from VRD, he also joined today morning. He might also been benefited from the lecture. I thank all of you and especially Dr. Wag sir and Dr. Nilkanth Deshpande sir for giving us this opportunity to understand the basic philosophy of literature writing. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Should we leave, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.